Hi there and welcome to another one of my cult movie reviews. For this video we're going to be taking a look at an extremely obscure piece of British cinema as we prepare to get bloody by plunging headfirst into the 1984 horror spoof Bloodbath at the House of Death. The film stars TV funny man Kenny Everett, who was well known at the time for his madcap TV shows. In this he plays a paranormal investigator, Dr. Lucas Mandeville, who's investigating the ghostly goings-on at the aptly named Headstone Manor, which was not only haunted, but was the scene of several murders years earlier. Unfortunately for him and his team, which consists of a number of well-known British comedy actors of the day, the house is considered to be a sacred shrine by a group of idiotic devil worshippers led by the legendary Vincent Price of all people, who will stop at nothing to get them out. Mishap after mishap subsequently ensues as various bizarre occurrences take place around the old house, whilst the scientists try to work out what's going on as the sinister man and his group try to drive them out before Satan really gets pissed off with them. Spoofing various horror films of the day such as The Entity, The Shining,
Dinner's almost ready. I'll see you downstairs.
Carrie, and various others. Whilst the film certainly has its moments, sadly it falls just short of the mark in terms of good comedy. Half the jokes work, but sadly the other half don't work quite so well.
Pass me a knife, would you?
I suppose a fork's out of the question.
Not necessarily, but let's have dinner first.
Now, the film was intended as a vehicle for Kenny Everett and the writers for his TV show to try and break into the movies. The script was actually written by noted broadcaster and long-time collaborator Barry Cryer, who can be seen here playing a detective. The director Ray Cameron, who, believe it or not, happens to be the father of comedian Michael McIntyre, also regularly worked on Kenny Everett's TV show with them. Unfortunately, though, the film was critically panned and subsequently tanked at the box office, proving to be a huge financial loss for the producers. A video release quickly followed, but again had only a limited release in that format as the distributors, Thorn EMI, ceased trading not long afterwards. The film enjoyed slightly better success overseas, but not much. In fact, it's interesting to note the differences in how the film was marketed for different territories. In the UK and Australia, where Kenny Everett was a well-known TV personality, the film was promoted as being one of his style of comedies, whereas in the US and Japan, where he was not so well known, the film was sold on the fact that Vincent Price was in it. Now, the film hadn't been seen on home video since its original release in the mid-1980s and was almost very nearly lost forever, as when inquiries were made in the mid-2000s about releasing it to DVD, no cinematic release prints could be found anywhere. Fortunately, Nucleus Films managed to track down the original negatives and rescue them just in the nick of time, as the company storing them were about to sling them out, as the filmmakers had stopped trading years ago, so hadn't been paying them the storage fees. I think it's safe to say that had Nucleus Films not come along when they did, then this film might not have seen the light of day again. The good news, though, is that it's out on disc now, where Nucleus Films have released a very nice DVD here in the UK, which contains trailers, interviews with the producers and the original script. I would say that despite the film's shortcomings, it is definitely worth a watch, if only as a period curiosity piece. It certainly has an interesting cast, which includes many well-known actors of the day, including Pamela Stephenson, who was well known at the time for the comedy Not the 9 O'Clock News, though is probably best known these days as being the wife of comedian Billy Connolly. Then there was Don Warrington, who used to appear on Rising Damp, although you've probably seen him in those Kenco coffee adverts these days. And there was also Gareth Hunt, who used to be on the New Avengers, and then lastly, of course, Cleo Rocco, who was Kenny Everett's long-running companion in his TV show, who turns up here as one of his assistants. Of course, the real reason that you'll want to see this is for Vincent Price, who, although really only appears in about a dozen scenes or so, which are spread throughout the film, manages to steal all the best lines of dialogue.
To think that I, the right hand of Beelzebub himself, should be subjected to the opinions of churls and hobbledehoys. Bow thy knee if you wish to even speak in my presence.
Oh, piss off!
Piss off.
Now, to my knowledge, the UK DVD is the only release of this film at present, so if you do fancy seeing this, then this is the only way to go about it. Again, this might not be a cinematic masterpiece, but it is an entertaining enough light-hearted romp, and I will freely admit that it is a guilty pleasure of mine. So I would definitely advise giving this one a go. It's certainly more entertaining than those bloody awful scary movie films at any rate.
Oh, Master, we are preparing for your arrival. Oh, you are the Prince of Darkness. And we are your... Oh, shit, my hand. Stupid bloody candles. Shut up! Stop it! Will you stop it? Will you stop it? There's always one. To the woods! To the woods!
I think that'll do it.